What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? What's happening? Happy Wednesday. What's up, my people? I'm glad to see y'all. I'm glad for y'all face to be in the place. It's podcast Wednesday, y'all. It's always an exciting time. So let's get with it. Let's get with it. Let's get with it. Let me turn off my love. I want to have my love background music playing, y'all. Well, what's up? How y'all doing? Okay. Welcome back. It's a new week. It's the last week of the month, y'all. And that's that's fantastic because for one, it's been a long June. It's been a long June. But it's been an exciting June. I don't know if everybody got to experience something new and exciting in June, but baby, it was a busy, exciting month for a lot of people that I know. And it's the last week of it. It's the last week, y'all. We almost into July. I'm happy about the end of June. My niece was just born. My brother had his first child. Him and my sister-in-law, brought a healthy baby in. She arrived safely and healthy and beautiful. And she a big little baby. But beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. So that's exciting, especially going toward the end of the month. Well, being at the end of the month. So I'm just happy. I'm just happy. But welcome to the last week of the month. Let's get this thing rolling. We got a brand new show for y'all today. Of course, we in the building. SW Live is definitely in the building. The show today is called "You Live, You Learn: How Not to Go Insane While Doing So." That's the topic of the show. I'm gonna have one insert after we do the quote of the day before we jump really into the show. I'm going to have an insert to the show that I wanted to just throw in there because this has been like a really, really hot topic this week because it's fresh. And, when things are fresh, we do have so many comments, feelings, emotions about things. So I do want us to have a conversation about that. But first and foremost, we are going to jump into the quote of the day and just say that yes, we have a topic today. And every week I do a topic, you know what I'm saying? But if I feel the need that, there needs to be something thrown in because it is something that's going on in our community that needs to be addressed, y'all feel free to hit me up if you think that if I missed it. Because I don't want to miss something that is very, very relatable to our community and we're not talking about it because we got to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So hit me up if y'all ever think that I haven't, you don't think that, or just if you just think that I need to know about something that you know about and it's important to the community. Hit me up, All right. So we're gonna jump into the quote of the day, and that is learn from yesterday, live for today. Author unknown. So so every day is a whole new exhilarating new day. You know what I'm saying? We have a lot going on in our day-to-day lives, our day-to-day encounters, the things that we have to deal with regularly because life is really busy for a lot of us. You know what I'm saying? And there are things we just have to do that sometimes people don't want to do them, but it has to be done. There's a necessity for things. So um, one thing that I wanted to speak on when it comes to learn from yesterday, live for today, is the fact that if we don't start utilizing our day-to-day aspects in our lives as a continuum and we're enjoying the things that we do when we get up, because we are taking a breath. It's beautiful to wake up and be breathing. You know what I'm saying? You got to know that there's nothing more important than the fact that you were given new breath in this new day. So when we have the opportunity to learn from yesterday as we're living for today, I'm a stickler, a person that believes it grants us grants us more time, even though, because it's not immortality, because that's not true. But I do think that there are certain layers to humanity, and I think that if we continue to speak about the things that are affecting humanity, but also keeping humanity a strong force, we will start to grow more as a community. So I just want to remind people that we real out here. You know, we're thankful for these new days. We're grateful for these new opportunities. It's a blessing. Okay. So learn from yesterday, live for the day, and benefit from it. Don't just be trying to, showcase that you still here by bragging. Actually get some benefit from it. You know what I'm saying? All right. All right. So that's our quote for the day. Learn from yesterday, live for the day, and make sure you utilizing those skills and putting them to work. You're putting them to work. You're not just allowing things to go in one ear and out the other one. You're actually utilizing the skills that you've put out there. So it's very beneficial. Okay, just being real with you, y'all. Just being real. Well, honest. More so, just being honest about it, because in any aspect, people can give you a guarantee of something and it's real, but then there's loopholes in certain things. But what if you're giving somebody a knowledgeable something like learn from yesterday, live for today? That's actually a beneficial tool. You can utilize that. You can learn. You can put down your roots of what you missed yesterday because you got a new opportunity today. That's why that's a benefit. That's why it's a benefit. All right. So we're going to talk today about how not to go insane while trying to live and learn, because it's really a matter of personal insanity. It has half of the time that we feel or we know that something is going on, it has nothing to do with what other people see. It strictly boils down to what we feel, what we've put in our mind to what's true and what's not true, and guaranteed to be that way. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody's here to change people's mind. But you will have the opportunity to see whether or not these people are allowing themselves the benefit of the doubt sometime, because personal insanity is one of the worst things to have to experience, dog. Like, as a life coach, I've had a client that literally told me that they went insane, and I worried about the people about them, because I was like, how did you manage to get through this? Like, what became your saving grace? And I felt dilapidated because I felt like I wasn't understanding quite enough how they were able to come back from something that they felt like they had lost control of. And it takes a lot of work to get back to something that you did lose. It's not just an overnight success. It's not just something that's going to happen immediately. It does take time. You have to go through that healing process. And people really do come back from insanity. But you got to grapple with things before you allow it to take place, because there's a personal insanity button that's inside of us. I don't know where it is now. I'm just touching myself because up here, because I always feel like it starts at my temple and then works its way around when I'm starting to feel like I'm doing the same thing again repetitively. So if we know that we can battle personally with what we're continuing to do, hoping that we're expecting different results, if we know that personally, we have to seek another way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could talk now, may actually be the time to talk to somebody about it. You have no control over what you think that outcome is going to be. You have no control over it. So what you're going to have to do is probably go have a conversation with somebody. Like, just talk to somebody you trust. If you don't want to go to a therapist, just talk to somebody you feel like you can at least get this off your chest with, because what will end up happening is you're going to start to lose the mindset that you have on how to deal with things, and you don't want to do that. Yeah, you don't want to do that. So why do we expect different outcomes while practicing the same skills? If we've not interjected a new way to make it better, like if we don't have a new solution, we can't be like, go to somebody and tell them, oh, you shouldn't even do it that way. That's probably crazy. That probably wouldn't work. That probably would, but do you have a solution though? If you're going to shut down somebody's idea of what they want to do and how they want to do it, if you don't have a better or a different outcome, shoot. Do not come into the room trying to tell somebody what to do in a situation you either have no experience with, or you're not willing to give somebody some information on how to move with it, because that's what we need these days. We can't just have somebody in there just being our gatekeeper, but don't have any information for us at that gate. You can't do that. You cannot gatekeep me and cannot push me in a direction or help me get to where I'm trying to go. Why would you try to gatekeep if that's not your journey, if that's not what you're trying to do for me? Okay. So if you ever feel like you're over your head and at any moment you're going to burst, you're not alone. And half of the time you're not. You're definitely not alone. Lucky for us, we also have the power to take a deep breath, sit back, and turn our lives around. And it's not easy to stop our negative thoughts from flooding through, especially during hard times. So a lot of your movement and things that you're trying to do end up going into a repetitive cycle because you're falling into a situation that you're used to. So if that's the case, you're probably going to do something that you did before to get you out of it. And if it works, fine. But if it's something that has a chance or it's just by chance, you may want to rethink that decision, because it always can't be just, I've done it before, so I know what to expect, because every outcome is a different outcome. All right. So we're going to, I feel like some of the things we could start off with are more simplistic, but I do want to say, if these are some of the feelings that you feel when you're starting to feel like you're about to repeat yourself in a situation, you doing something repetitive, like if you're feeling fear or misplaced loyalty, inadequacies, mistrust, that statement of, it happens to others, but it doesn't happen for me, I need to stay in my lane. These are, if you're telling yourself things as this, then there's probably something that is going to start making you feel like that the way you're doing things, beyond the fact that is not working, but you'll start to take a punishment for it instead of an experience to move forward and find a different path. You'll take it as a punishment and you'll start attacking yourself about it. I need to grow up. I need to start doing this. It's ways to address things, and it's ways on how you move when you're trying to do things differently. You got to be willing to know that, though, that just jumping out there and doing it differently is what is going to be the failure part of it. But you do have to know what and how to move differently before you start doing it. Just don't rush anymore, because that's a lot of the reason why we have those insanity steps over and over again, where we're constantly doing the same thing over and over and over again. And then we sitting there like, well, what I did it different this time. I did. No, you didn't. You still rushed. You don't want to take your time to even sit there and develop the plan. So if you feel any of those things, that's a sign in general that you're about to suffer from a little bit of personal insanity. And insanity all the time is not like you screaming to the top of your lungs, you just going crazy, or you about to go on a killing spree. No, that's not just the portion of insanity that most people deal with. Most people's personal insanity comes down to overthinking, irrationalities, you trying to see a scenario before it happens, and a lot of where you're just not trusting yourself. So you're trying to figure it out in advance, and a lot of times it don't go that way, but you're still trying to do it anyway, and you about to drive yourself crazy until it happens. So that form of insanity is a form of personal insanity. You're recklessly endangering your mindset. So meditation helps. The practice of meditation has been around for centuries, and it's very, very good. And for very, very good reason, because when you feel like you have 50 different thoughts running through your head every 60 seconds, meditate. Just sit for a minute. Breathe in, breathe out, relax. It's so many different meditation techniques that you can utilize that will assist you in making sure that you're not messed up. And how you moving with your decisions, because I'm telling you, a form of losing your identity in yourself because of what you're going through on a personal level can be detrimental. Okay, so you got to learn these techniques, because you don't want to just be like, I'm gonna keep doing it this way, knowing that I'm just gonna keep fucking up, because like you literally not even giving yourself the opportunity to try a different thing. You're constantly doing the same thing over and over and over again. Every time you got to do it differently, because the outcome is to be different. The outcome is to see a different outcome. The outcome is to feel something different. You're looking for a common goal, but the way you're doing it may be what you have to change. What's up, Queen? How you doing, my girl? So be honest with yourself. Do not hide how you feel. Do not lie to yourself. Do not tell yourself it's working if it's not working. Do not overcompensate. Be very, very honest. Be non-negligent. Be non-negligent. All right? Clear your clutter. If you have a whole lot of things going on mindset-wise that can change how you are feeling, how you are thinking, what you're doing, it's cluttering. It's cluttering up your thought process. You can update that at any time. Fix it, change the background, add in a different incense, new candle, something that's going to make the atmosphere a lot more home-based feeling. And try to keep things off the floor, and keep things from overflowing, keep things from being too full in the atmosphere. Some water. Just keep it a little different. Just have it a little less clutter. Because how you live is how you process, and then you're gonna be trying to process something that you have no idea what's going on, just because of the simple fact that you cluttering your mind with all these different thought processes, when in actuality you shouldn't even be trying to think like that. A clean house is a clean mind. Nourishment, proper food. I would always say that you won't keep being a repetitive person if you knew for a fact that you were being a repetitive person, because like some people feel like, oh, I'm doing it different this time, just because they changed the street that they turned down, but they still getting there at the same time. You know what I'm saying? But you're still getting there at the same time. You're still not early. You're still not doing this. That's repetitive. If you're supposed to be trying to improve the process. So say for instance, I got an example. So say for instance, you're you decided that you wanted to apply for a different position or what have you, and then you realize that that position is asking for you to do things that you've never done, but you're still in that role already. You just never done what they're doing. Does that disqualify you for the position, or do you figure it out? Now, this is the thing. You've interviewed several times for positions like this, and you've done something wrong to where you've not even got called back for a second interview. And if you constantly are doing that without changing the process, then you're going to keep getting the same results. That's the pure definition of insanity. So it's not just, that's why I keep saying it don't boil down to just being crazy. We got to stop taking the description of the word as to its core. We got to stop doing that, because it's not about that. The majority of the things that you're experiencing in your life is simply for you being able to think that you can change the outcome, even though you're doing the same thing. So now the course has to be different. It teaches you to do things differently. So if a person is expecting you to be the best at reading and arithmetic, but you've not been taught any of it, but they expect you to come in with it, and you're not trying to do anything to get better, but you're just constantly going in like you're trying, but you're not. Are you really learning? Are you really learning? So those are the things you ask yourself, so that you don't have to deal with personal insanity. Because at some point, the lies catch up, the drama in your mind catch up, because you're doing it the same way. You're not trying to change up anything. The majority of us can really go out here and live in this world off skills alone. Skills alone. And be way more successful. But we're not taking that time to actually give ourselves the benefit. We're making excuses because we'd rather keep trying the same things over and over again and getting the same ridiculous results. Set the goals and make to-do lists. So even inside of your goal setting, you still have to have ways to deal with how you work your goals. You got to have that to-do list. You got to write down little factions of the day that you want to do differently that are going to go toward your goals. So those to-do lists help out with that. It definitely provides you a source of your note-taking. It gives you a source of understanding what you're trying to do. So that to-do list is very, very helpful, very, very powerful. What you really want to do, though, is keep positive relationships around you too. You don't want to be having people around you that are where you see a whole lot of negativity going on in their relationships, because you're going to be questioning a lot of things. Now you're going to be questioning if this is happening to people that I admire the most, and they're showing me this. What type of future does that look like for me? When they mess ain't got nothing to do with you, but people will literally make other people's mess theirs. So if that's the case, make sure you got positive people around, so you can if you're going to include and be inclusive of what the people in your life got going on, you'll have the opportunity to at least be in control of that part. Because you do not want to have the opportunity of being able to say, you have the opportunity of being able to say, I can do this. I've been blessed to do this, but I'm not taking advantage of it. That's sad. That's sad. So take vacations. Definitely travel. I don't care if it's only an hour down the road. Do it. And make time for yourself. Those are some of the biggest things that'll keep you alone from having a bad breakout of personal anxiety. And it's going to keep you from doing the same things over and over when you're dealing with people. What's happening, my brother? It's going to keep you very, very prepared for how you deal with situations, how you deal with people, all of that. Especially meditations, different forms of meditations are important. not allowing yourself to just be conforming to how other people move and how other people live. You got to get out of that anyway. You got to get out of that. You got to get out of trying to people please. That's a big insane issue that's going on out here. People don't know when to separate people in certain times of their lives. You got people that you deal with at work. This is your work friend. You got people that you deal with on happy hour. This is your happy hour friend. You got people you might travel with. Now, if some of those people are the same people, great, more power to you. That's wonderful. You want to have some of those circle of people that's overall that could just be uniform throughout a whole group situation. But if you don't, you just make sure you have people. And if you don't have to have those people and you are able to do it yourself with that confidence, booyah. You even better off. That's another way to deal with less insanity. You're not trying to keep doing the same things. You don't try to plan 6 trips. You can't get everybody together. But y'all keep trying to plan it that way. But when you playing with one other person, y'all been going, just go. You gotta go. That's why I always felt another thing for me with the word insanity, to keep you from going insane. That's why I say it's a personal thing for me. I think that the word again makes people think that it makes us look crazy. It makes us feel like we are bonkers because somebody's saying, man, you insane. But they calling you insane because they don't really know what insane mean. When people really learn that it's just you trying to keep doing the same dumb shit over and over and expecting a different outcome, they be like, well, won't you just change up? Do it differently. That's their response. So they be like, that's what insane mean for real? That's what it means. So I'm telling you, it's not like you just crazy. Everybody has ways that they do things, but if you're gonna constantly do and keep what you're ended up doing now is battling yourself. You're battling yourself. You're going against you more than you're going against the world. You're supposed to know and trust that you're going to make a good decision for you. That should be very, very simple if you know you got you in mind. You know what I'm saying? Very, very simple. It shouldn't be any other question as to why you feel like you have to question the analogies of what you got going on. It's different to be going through fear and misplaced loyalty, questioning, and I should be grateful for a lot of things, but I'm not. It's different to be going through that when you're going through like grief and you're going through like heartbreak and things that make you feel like the world got you crumbling. When those type of things happen, how you respond is going to be either beneficial or hurtful. Because you're not thinking about how another person feels at that moment. You're only thinking about how you feel. But the only way that changes is if you start to tell yourself different things. You start to incorporate a different process in your life so that you can start having happier moments when you think of things and people and sorrows and hurt, pain. It gives you a different understanding then. You'll start to replace certain thoughts of negativity or hurt and pain with the memories and things of what they would say or want you to be doing. So it's very, very powerful and impactful when you're able to start to be able to accept those type of things. But grieve as you must. Fight through things as you must, because that's what life is about. We have to be able to have that understanding of certain things before we could just be like, okay, I'm over it. No, you'll never get over it. You just have to get through it. So it's a lot of things that quantify you on how you move with your personal decisions, your personal thought processes. And that's going to lead us into this next discussion. The young man having to murder uh, a grown man, a young boy, a teenage boy, having to murder a grown man because that grown man punched said mother in the face a couple of times in the restaurant. I'm to my hardcore stuff. And so I've contemplated several times on the thought processes, what could have been going through that child's head at the time of him doing what he was told to do by his mom. Come inside, do this, do that, do this, do that. The pressure from women in a Black man's life, beyond the fact that they're supposed to be protectors, they're supposed to be raised to do that, but are we just teaching them to pick up guns too? We know ain't no fight back methods no more, and nowhere. Just everything, just kill, 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 and the responsibility of the girlfriend that was filming the video of the young man who they said was the one that got killed, murdered. So it's just so much that went on this particular day. Hurts my heart that it even had to go to these distinctive details. It could have been several different ways that this could have been settled, but it ended in murder. And in that aspect of murder, it ended in a man being murdered and then his family needing help to bury him, and everybody taking that as a joke because his family needs the help. His family didn't have anything to do with what he did. They need help to bury the man. And they joking about it. It's crazy. It's and then we got this young 14-year-old Black man who already has a lot on his back, having to deal with the whole I murdered somebody mentality now. So it's just a lot that went down that day. I would definitely love to hear y'all thoughts on that. But I, for one, think that it just could have went in several different ways. In all the ways that I see it, I see the man going to jail in all the ways that I see it. And that's still, is bad, but he still got life. That's, it's a choice. But there's a lot of things that went on that day that people are arguing about on social media, about the fact that what if this would have been a woman telling a man telling his daughter to do it, and, or what if it would have been a woman in general beating on a man. I'm like, when did we get to this? This is why it's so easy to divide a nation. Powerful Black men against powerful Black women. And people sit back and they don't think about the fact that this is the life of what our children are going to walk into. The things that we're dealing with regularly are what our kids are going to, irregularly is going to be what our kids have to deal with, and our future generation has to deal with on a regular basis. So we're putting so many negative connotations out there to where they rely on other people to make their decisions. They rely on other people to tell them what not to do when it's too late. They don't listen, and everybody wants to kill somebody. It just seems to be the premise. And are we, the parents, the community, ever going to take a chance on the children that is worth it? Like, deciding that this can't be their future. Things have to change. Is there any way that we can, as a community, decide that enough is enough? Because we have a 14-year-old kid who murdered someone because his mother told him to shoot him because she texted him and told him to come in the store before the hits happened. So, and to bring the gun. So that automatically meant there was going to be some shooting going on. You know what I'm saying? It was going to be some shooting going on because she said, bring the gun and come inside. And then the next thing you know, she get hit twice. And I'm talking about barreled in the face. So we have a black man hitting a black woman. I don't care if it was a black woman hitting a black man. I don't care if it was a grandma kicking on her husband. I don't care if it was uncle and auntie in there throwing hands. I don't care none of that. We stand back and pull out our phones and forget to help people. We don't know what was going on in that store besides food. It was a food situation. It's water gotta wake me up. It was a food situation. And then it turned into you knocking somebody out. And then it turned into a 14-year-old kid killing somebody. And all I see is nightmares and me hoping that it's not true. But you're talking about a kid though. Like, does that mean that his future's still bright? Does that mean that he won't have, questions when it comes to the dreams he's having and the fact that he's now murdered somebody? This has to be in his life forever. This is his reality now. That's the scary part for me, that we as adults made this decision for this child because the community stood around and did nothing. The community stood around and did nothing. You can even see on the video a man turning around, walking out the store. The community failed that little boy. He shouldn't have had to do that. Nobody didn't even have to end up dead that day. Nah, that was prime disrespect to what that man did to that lady. I'm talking about the hits. Looking at the video and seeing the distinctive and hearing how it happened and hearing his voice, he was so angry. And we did nothing. We as a community allow a 14-year-old child to handle something that we should have handled. This is where we are. This is where we are. We don't have anybody wanting to take responsibility. We just want to justify why it's okay to kill people. And the majority of the people that's dying and getting killed are people who look like us because that's who we killing each other. And it's hurtful to know that it's being justified. Like, when do we not use justification as accountability anymore? Do we not try to make those two work together? It's a lot. It's a lot to unravel. It's a lot to unravel. We want to. It's a lot to unravel. And I'm worried about our children and the sake of them and the thought process of them thinking that it's okay to just kill in every situation. This man could have got shot in the legs. And now they want to treat the family of him like they deserve it. They weren't there. They had nothing to do with that. We have to think about when it comes to situations as such, that's 2 of our lives gone. Because that young man, it's not over for him. It's not over for him. It's not over for him. It really isn't. It's just not. It's not over for that young man. He has to face a lot of different things now that he has shot somebody. And that's in his own self. That's his own battles. I just feel like it's terrible that a kid had to do that. I just feel like it's terrible. He's a kid. But he's in back in the day, 14 would have been a grown man. So he would have had no choice but to do it. That's just what it is. But this is affecting our community now. It's been affecting our community. But what I mean, that situation right now is another affection of our community. It's what we're trying to prevent from happening. We got to do better with it. We got to start spreading the message of honor, dignity, hope. We got to start pushing those narratives. We do. So, all right. Anywho, back to the fact that I wanted to just run over that because I know that it's just been very, very heavy on at least my mind about the child, because I've been seeing that people are not, they're more concerned with the fact that he was there to defend his mom. Kudos for that. I appreciate that young man being around. I just wish that brother didn't have to be murdered for it. So don't get me wrong. Don't think that I don't think that young man should have defended his mom. That's where I also feel the community failed the young man, because there used to be a time where people stood up and said something. The young man, when they had to do that type of intervening, had somebody else already said, bro, you need to back up off her. It's just ways to handle things, okay? Because yes, had that been somebody else's son, or mother or grandmother, everybody's like, I would have did the same thing, I would have did the same, and that's sad. That's sad. That's sad that somebody got to be murdered. So, anywho, I do want you guys to very much so take seriously the different tasks that you need to utilize on doing, so that you do not have any personal insanities, any personal lockouts, shutdowns, where you're not putting people out your life for the week just because you're not feeling good. Remember these techniques, meditation. That's funny. Being honest with yourself, clearing clutter around your brain, your mindset, and your homes. What you consume matters a whole lot. Set goals and make a lot of to-do lists that's going to help penetrate those goals. Keep positive relationships close by. Keep positive people close by. Go on many vacations. Do things that are outside of your norm, and always make time for yourself. Because if you're not making time for yourself, then you're not going to be able to help people when it comes to making time for them. You're going to be in a slump because you're going to be so tired of trying to do things for other people that you don't even do for yourself. You're gonna be in a slump, baby. And I really appreciate you guys for trusting in insight that comes from SW Live, because it's always genuine, and it's something that I pride myself in making sure of, is that you get other viewpoints on things outside of what you may know on a regular basis. I want to make sure that when you come to SW Live, you're going to walk away with something that is going to help you in a decision that you might make, or help somebody else in a decision that they might make. I just want you to make sure you can take away a few of the jewels that are offered to you when you come visit with us and sit with us and listen with us and chat with us and all of that. I just want anyone to know that the mission is to make sure that you can take away something from this show every week that we come on. Either if it's from Gen Z, it's from SW Live, it's from the Queen segment that comes on. If any segment that's offered on here, around the world, Black, anything, I want everybody, or even just somebody, to be able to walk away with something to say, I picked up on this. I learned about this. Even if you go take it and go research it, because I'm gonna go research it. But trust and believe it's out there. The information is not rare. It's beneficial information. We just trying to give it to you on another level, offering it to you in a different way. And that's what SW Live is here for. I always appreciate y'all for tuning in. We're going to get out of here, let y'all get back to y'all Wednesdays. Y'all make sure to stop doing the same things over and over and expecting different results. Stop driving yourself insane. Do something different. Talk to somebody. Lean on somebody. Go to somebody that can point you in a different direction to get that job done. It don't have to be hard. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I see y'all next Wednesday in the first week of July. Y'all enjoy y'all long holiday week, y'all long weekend, and do something fun for yourself. Take care of you. Peace.